Okay, so imagine this. The year is 2026. Millions of people are heading to watch the World Cup. But here's the thing, they're not all going to the same country. They're splitting their flights between Mexico, the United States, and Canada. 3 countries, 1 tournament. And honestly, this has never really happened before at this scale. So how does FIFA even make that work? And more importantly, why did they decide to do it in the first place? Stick around, because the answer is way weirder than you'd think. For over 90 years, the World Cup was simple. 1 host country, 1 place, 1 flag on the trophy ceremony. That's just how it worked. Spain hosted in 1982. Brazil hosted in 2014. Simple, clean. 1 nation prepared, 1 nation celebrated. It made sense. It was the tradition. But then everything changed. Here's where it gets interesting. Building a World Cup is expensive. Like, stupidly expensive. South Africa spent $3.6 billion. Qatar spent somewhere between $8 and $20 billion. Yeah, nobody really knows the exact number. And after a while, countries started asking the same question. Is this actually worth it? Suddenly, hosting the World Cup went from a dream to kind of a nightmare. Stadiums that cost billions of dollars to build. Infrastructure projects that drain national budgets. Environmental damage. For what? Maybe 20 days of games. So FIFA looked around and realized something obvious. If no single country wanted to host anymore, why not split it? Why not ask multiple countries to share the burden? And boom, 3-country hosting was born. Okay, so logistically, this is a mess. Think about it. You need multiple stadiums across different time zones. You need transportation between countries. You need security coordinated across 3 governments. You need visa agreements. You need basically everything to work in sync. In theory, this should be a nightmare. In practice, it's actually more organized than you'd think. FIFA basically said, okay, here's how we're doing this. Mexico gets some games. The United States gets the most, the biggest, richest market. Canada gets some games too. And then they divided the tournament schedule so teams aren't constantly flying back and forth. Sounds simple. It isn't. Behind the scenes, there are committees meeting constantly just to figure out which team plays where. Now here's the real reason this is happening. Money. The United States has stadiums everywhere. Major League Soccer stadiums, NFL stadiums, college football stadiums, massive populations, huge broadcast markets. FIFA looked at the US and basically thought, yeah, we want that. But they couldn't just host it in America anymore. There was a tradition of spreading tournaments around. So they compromised. Let's bring in Mexico and Canada, make it a North American thing, and suddenly everyone wins. Mexico gets prestige and revenue. Canada gets to participate in something massive. The US gets the lion's share. And FIFA gets to broadcast to 3 different markets in 1 tournament. It's actually genius in a kind of cynical way. But here's what most people don't realize. 3 countries means 3 different labor laws, 3 different tax systems, 3 different legal requirements. A player could be in Mexico City on Tuesday and Vancouver on Thursday. Teams have to figure out recovery time between games while also managing jet lag across multiple borders. Fans have to navigate international travel just to follow their team. The officials running the tournament have to coordinate with 3 different governments simultaneously. You know, the type of thing that sounds amazing in a meeting room but becomes a headache in real life. Yeah, this is that. The secret is that Mexico, the US, and Canada are literally next to each other. They're neighbors. They've got trade agreements. They've got transportation infrastructure. They've got experience coordinating. If FIFA had tried to split the World Cup between, say, Brazil and Angola, that wouldn't work. But this is actually feasible. The US and Canada are literally connected by land. Mexico is right there. Travel time between venues is manageable. Not easy, but manageable. Here's the thing nobody talks about. FIFA might have accidentally discovered something. Maybe the future of the World Cup is regional tournaments. Maybe in 20 years, we see the South American Cup, the African Cup, the Asian Cup, all happening in clusters of countries, sharing the infrastructure, sharing the cost, making it sustainable instead of asking one country to bankrupt itself for sports. Or maybe this is a one-time experiment that FIFA never does again. Either way, 2026 is going to be chaotic and weird in the best possible way. So there it is. 3 countries hosting 1 World Cup because the world basically said, yeah, 1 country can't afford this anymore. It's not traditional. It's not what Pele did, but it's smart. It's efficient. And honestly, it might be the future. Here's the real question though. When fans are split across 3 countries, which one actually celebrates like they won? I guess we'll find out in 2026. If you're curious about how international sports actually work, Subscribe. We break down the stuff everyone wonders about but nobody explains.